My name is Steve Hayes, and I'm the President and CEO for Visit St. Pete Clearwater. And I'd like to welcome you to our event this morning where we talk about how we as a community rise to keep shining, especially related to the tourism industry. Before we get into comments, I want to recognize a few folks that are here. And I haven't been able to check my eyes completely, but if there are members of our Tourist Development Council, if you could rate, other than the ones that are present, if they're here, if they could raise their hands and let me know. Appreciate those that could be here and who've been supportive of this campaign since the beginning. Also, if there's any other elected officials, both from a city standpoint or from the county, recognize those as well. Again, since tourism is such an important element to our community, and each of the communities are very supportive of what we have going on. I also want to recognize the fact that our county administrator is here, who has been very supportive of what we're doing, but also very instrumental in working with our commissioners and leading efforts here in this county. I want to talk a little bit about the Rise to Shine campaign before we have our other speakers present. This campaign that we've come up with is something that we worked very closely, not only with our community, but with our chambers and businesses. And we felt this was extremely important for this reason, is travelers these days want to know that where they're at and where they're going is they have a safe environment. They are making choices about which communities that they will go to based on what is happening there. And we felt this was a great opportunity for us to showcase what's happening here in Pinellas County. If you go through and we talk about the fact that we are wearing our masks, that we have our physical distancing, that we're doing all the proper hygiene here, and we're doing that as residents, but that means we're also expecting our visitors to go through and do the same thing. And I think that's a critical point of this Rise to Shine campaign, is that we really, for us, in order for our community to shine more, we have to rise up to the occasion. This is something completely different than we've ever done before. In fact, the first part of this campaign is really directed locally, and then we take this into our out-of-area markets, in particular looking at the Orlando market, which for this time of the year is our number one market for visitors. And there are going to be unique opportunities to get this message out. So, for instance, the PTSA buses that are the one that's behind us will be carrying that message. When you look at what's happening and what we have in our restaurants, in different business outlets, again, it's talking about rise to shine and really traveling responsibly. As one of our staff said, you're not going to be able to move around without seeing this. And I think the critical element is being able to convey the message of how important traveling responsibly is, because it helps re-energize our tourism industry, which has taken a serious hit. We've had slow growth. And when you look at other areas of the state, I think we're doing better than some other areas. Yeah. But we could do better, and I think this is just that one step. And then going forward is really coming up with additional campaigns that'll be out addressing how do we get people here at various times of the year. So again, I think from a campaign element standpoint, this has a lot of critical elements that we've worked collaboratively on to come up with this. And we've been very fortunate, when we originally introduced this to the Tourist Development Council, they were very supportive of that direction and where we were going, even from the initial concepts and as we move forward. So at this time, I'd like to bring up the chair of the Pinellas County Commission, who is also the chair of the Tourist Development Council, Chairwoman Pat Gerard.
Thank you, Steve. And I want to thank you all for being out here today. As you know, tourism is our number one employer in Pinellas County. It employs 1 out of 10 people in this county, and it's hugely important to us. So we want to encourage people to come here and to feel safe when they get here. And some of the research that we looked at the Tourist Development Council showed that that was people's number one concern, whether they were coming from far away or whether they were driving in for a day or two, was that when they got here that we would be observing safety precautions and that they would not contract a disease when they got here. That's very important to us too. And this Rise and Shine campaign is designed to project that this is a safe place to come to, and we want to have you here. We have the best beach in the country, and it's a safe place to be. So thank you all for being here and for getting this message out for us. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Gerard. Another member of the Tourist Development Council is the mayor of the fine city that we're in right now. Let me introduce to you Mayor Hibbert.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning, everybody. We thank you for being here because you really help us get the message out. And I'm pleased to have all of you on Clearwater Beach, the #1 beach in America, 3 out of the last 5 years. We want to keep that recognition going. And one of the ways that we can do that is making this beach and all of Pinellas County a safe place for our residents and our tourists to visit. We have been following all the best protocols, and throughout this entire pandemic, we've been trying to protect lives and livelihoods. And one of the ways that we can do that is the Rise to Shine campaign. We know that if all of our residents and our visitors will follow the protocols of distancing, wearing masks, sanitizing as much as possible, and just being respectful of one another, they're going to be able to experience all the great things from the Sunshine Skyway Bridge to Tarpon Springs and everything in between, and do it in a safe manner. So I thank you all for the information that you're getting out to everybody, and let's just work together to make Pinellas County the safest place to visit.
Thank you, Mayor. And again, we're very fortunate that we have some of the best beaches in the world. Whether it's here on Clearwater Beach, or we go down to our mid beaches, even down in St. Pete Beach, and we're known for that. But we're also known as a cultural destination, and that really adds to that messaging that is out there to help bring people to our community. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mayor Kreisman, Mayor of St. Pete.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is good to be here with you in Clearwater, and quite frankly, I don't mind visiting a different pier every now and then. And my thanks to Mayor Hibbert for hosting us here today. Also want to give a word of thanks to our TDC chair and the chair of the Pinellas County Commission, Pat Gerard. Thank you, Pat. Mayor Bajolski, Mayor Kennedy, thank you both as well. You know, when I speak back home, usually in St. Pete, I always talk about how the sun shines here. And when I say that, I'm talking about opportunity and working with each of you to build a city and a county and a region where opportunity exists for everyone. So I'm honored to be with you here in Clearwater today and to say that the sun shines here. You know, Labor Day is upon us, and while we are seeing encouraging COVID numbers in St. Petersburg and in Pinellas County, it's important that we continue to make good choices. So let's keep wearing our masks, let's keep practicing social distancing. And while I'm optimistic about the positive trends that we're seeing, I know the Rise to Shine campaign will reinforce what visitors and locals alike need to do to help keep the numbers moving in the right direction. Supporting our unique local businesses of St. Pete as well as those of Clearwater, our county, our region, has always been a top priority of mine, and it's why we started our Fighting Chance Fund, providing help and a helping hand to those businesses and individuals that have been impacted. But I see campaigns like this one as the next steps that we have to take. Strengthening our message about social distancing and about wearing masks. It's how we're going to all get through this together. So I'm excited that the St. Pete Pier will serve as one of the Rise to Shine hubs. And you'll also see our beautiful pier and the campaign materials. My city is fortunate to have a place like the St. Pete Pier during a time like this, because we know based on research of the TDC that what people are looking for is exactly what the pier can offer. A lot of beautiful outdoor spaces that connect to nature. We're obviously standing in one of those right now. And I'm incredibly excited about what the St. Pete Pier means, not just for the citizens of my city, but for visitors that come to my city for years to come. I know that we will come out on the other side of this pandemic stronger as a city, as a county, and as a region. So I thank you all for being here. I thank you for what you're doing. Thank you to the TDC for this Rise to Shine campaign. And let's be safe. Let's wear our masks. Let's social distance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And Mayor Kreisman touched on something, I think, again, which is critical to two of the other mayors that are up here. And part of this is that tourism, impacts businesses and impacts a number of different communities. And we have two mayors on our TDC that really look at it from the community standpoint. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Mayor Bajowski, who's with the mayor of Dunedin, and talk about the impacts to her community.
Thank you, Steve. And Mayor Hibbard, thank you for hosting us today. We love Clearwater Beach. In Dunedin, we have Honeymoon Island, the #1 state park, and we're so proud of that. But Pinellas County has so much to offer. And as a small city, we're kind of like the little engine that could, if you would. And tourism is a main driver to our community. And given that Pinellas County has 24 cities in it, it's important for small towns like Dunedin to really kind of get out and grab on it and be a leader in telling tourists that we are a safe place to visit and supporting our local businesses. I'm really proud of the Rise to Shine campaign because it's going to tell visitors just how safe we are doing it, that our numbers are low, but we have expectations of you. We expect you to social distance. We expect you to wear a mask. But we want you to come and we want you to visit. In Dunedin and in Pinellas County, I know it's so important on top of our public health issues to support our local businesses. They are the engine that keeps us going. They're the engine that keeps tourism coming here. And many of these folks are mom and pop shops like we have in Dunedin. And it's so important for us to get the word out to support them, whether it's to locals or to people around the country. So I'm really proud that Dunedin can take part in this $2 million campaign. I hope that you guys will be proud of it as well. And just stay safe, wear your mask, and social distance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I bring up Mayor Kennedy, again, dealing with the whole thing about small business, that is a backbone of the tourism industry. And they serve so many different ways, between restaurants to shops to a variety of places to visit. That's why it impacts so many different communities here. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Mayor Kennedy, Mayor of Indian Rocks Beach.
Good morning, everyone. Are we ready to rise to shine? I hope so, because I know all of the mayors with us today are. When a tourist wakes up after traveling to Pinellas County and they rise to shine, like our residents every day in the beautiful paradise we live in, we want them to know that we hold the highest standards to all of our businesses, many, many businesses that we have throughout Pinellas County. We look to our county for the standards that they have set, washing our hands, sanitation, wearing masks. And we want our tourists as well as our residents to feel safe when they come to our communities. We look forward to our tourists, just like our residents do, to go into our businesses, enjoy themselves, and have a great time while you're here, because as everyone knows who's here today, we do live in paradise. In Indian Rocks Beach, I'm a small business owner. I grew up here. And so I know the kind of restaurants and establishments, businesses that we have in this community, and all of them have taken the highest standards to do what is best for our community. And we look forward to everyone coming and visiting us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And that was a great segue about getting businesses involved. And before I finish everything up, I also want to point out the areas that we're reaching the visitor. And not only is it going to be within our lodging establishments, can it be in restaurants or shops, but working with PI to go through and get it into rental cars. So visitors that are coming in, even at the airport itself. Again, a very comprehensive message about the expectation of what we're doing here in Pinellas County. In terms of how businesses can participate, and I think this is critical because we want everyone to be a part of this. If you go to visit spc.com, Rise to Shine, then as a business you can sign up, and we have a number of things that they can go through and get. For their businesses, it could be anywhere from posters, it could be to clings, it could be to other things. So anyway, just wanted to pass that along. Visit spc.com, Rise to Shine. Again, thank everyone for coming out today. Really appreciate your interest in this and support, and more importantly, the support of our Tourist Development Council members, our mayors, and the county. And I think, as Mayor Bajowski said, and Mayor Cookie, actually everyone has said it, now is the time for us to rise in order to shine. Thank you.
Obviously, we've got